Okay, welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's good to have you here. I hope you're all keeping well. It's me, Cal, your personal pocket-sized lawyer, and today I'm talking about a very important topic which we all need to be aware of, especially parents, which is how to deal with sextortion, which is non-consensual image sharing, right? Let's get straight into it. Okay, so sextortion is essentially when someone threatens to share your private or explicit images unless you meet their demands. In last year alone, reports of sextortion to the police have increased by over 85%. And that some victims are as young as 13 years old. Guys, hear me when I say this to you. This is a crucially important issue. This is happening more than ever, and it's not just celebrities or influencers being targeted. It's teenagers, it's everyday adults, it's your kids, it could be you. This is also happening to kids all over the country in school, and the schools don't do anything about it. It's up to the parent, which I think is completely backwards, but it is the reality. Now look, the truth is this is a complex area of law, guys. It's not straightforward blackmail or extortion. This is hard to track, hard to trace platforms like Snapchat and Instagram. And now we have AI deep fake technology, scammers that create fake images of you and use them to blackmail you. It's not straightforward, but that's exactly what this channel is designed to help with. So in just the next 9 minutes, I'm going to teach you what sextortion is, how it usually happens, what the law says about it, and as always, the best step-by-step process of what you should immediately do if it ever happens to you or someone you know. Finally, how to protect yourself and others ever being targeted. That's really important. Prevention is as important as cure in very sensitive matters like this. And as always, best I'm going to do it in just under 10 minutes, so let's go. Now, a quick one before we continue, guys. I'll never at any point ask you to hit my subscribe button, but only that you give me an opportunity to earn that from you with the content that I make for you. So if at the end of the video you feel like you have learned or taken anything of value at all from this video, then please feel free to do so. Now, look, as I said, sextortion is when someone threatens to share your private or explicit images, right? Unless you meet their demands, usually for money, sometimes for more images, or sometimes even in-person contact. It can happen in relationships, after breakups, for example, or with complete strangers online. Both are very common. So let me first tell you quickly how it usually happens, okay? I want to tell you how it usually happens so that you can recognize the warning signs. So, someone reaches out online. They are friendly, flirty. Maybe they send you a nude photo first to build trust, which is usually fake, by the way, and then ask you shortly after not much time at all, to send something back. And once they have it, their tone completely flips. Suddenly you're being told, pay me £500 or I'll send this to everyone you know or everyone on your Instagram contact list or something. That right there, what I've just explained, is the standard template for this stuff. The key tactic is shame. That is the single pinpoint tactic that is preyed on, shame. It's an incredibly powerful emotion, shame. The blackmail relies on your fear and your panic to make you feel like you've got no other way out, right? But do not panic. Although that is far easier said than done, I'm aware of that. There are options available to you and weapons of your own. Okay, so now you know what sextortion is and how it usually happens in common practice. Is it legally a crime though? What about if it is an ex-partner, someone that you've already given your trust to and shared those images consensually in the first place? What about if it's not actually you? What about if it's a deep fake created with AI technology? Again, let's quickly look at what the law says. So very quickly, yes, sextortion is very, very illegal, multiple times over. You have standard revenge porn legislation here, which is that if someone shares or threatens to share a private sexual image of you without your consent, they are committing a criminal offence under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015. It doesn't matter what your relationship once was with them or whether it was consensual at that time, for example, with an ex-partner. And even if they only send it to one person, or even if they just threaten you with sending it, it's all very illegal. If they are blackmailing you, that is a very separate and also serious crime under the Theft Act 1968. And if they are harassing you over it, for example, messaging over and over and over again, trying to cause distress to you, that's also illegal under the Protection from Harassment Act. Even if they haven't shared the image yet, the threat alone is enough to be illegal. The threat alone is enough. So yes, the law is well on your side, but that doesn't always help, does it? Okay. So here is a step-by-step process, the best process to take if it ever happens to you. Please pay attention. This is the best advice taken from actual real-life experiences and multiple victims of sextortion, and it actually worked. Number one, do not pay. and do not negotiate either. I know it is scary, but paying a blackmailer almost never works. Once they know that you're scared and that they've got you, they're just going to keep asking you for more and more and more. It won't stop. That is just the beginning. That is really important. Number 2, screenshot everything, every message, every demand, every picture, every username. Take clear, dated screenshots of the conversation. Even if the account disappears, you want those taken early. You'll have evidence for the police, but do this instantaneously, like I said, the very second you get any sort of whiff of sextortion. Number 3 then is to report it to the platform, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat especially. They have procedures for this. They actually have specified procedures for this behavior. So flag the account and report the abuse. Many of those platforms will act really fast to remove and suspend those accounts. It does work. They are really quick to do this. You have to try it. Now, number 4 is important, even though it might put people off, which is reporting it to the police. Believe it or not, the police can help. They have actual specialist cybercrime or safeguarding officers, departments that are designed for this stuff. Now, I can't say from the research I've done that people have found them particularly effective, but I have to tell you that they are there. They are more so effective if you are under 18, then there is a real focus on police protection there. And you can also report it to the Child Exploitation and Online Protection, which is part of the National Crime Agency. It's for young people and families dealing with this exact type of thing. Again, now how effective those are, I don't really know from my own experience, but you may get some really good advice there at the least. Now, before we get on to the most important section, which is how to protect and prevent this ever happening to you, we need to confirm 2 key points, guys. Do not ignore these. So key tip number 1 is do not retaliate or threaten them back. That can backfire legally. You want clean hands in this yourself. You want a clean record if it ever goes to the police or to court. Number 2, and I reiterate this again, guys, keep your evidence. Keep the evidence, even if it hurts you, even if it's shameful to look at. It's hard, but don't delete any messages. Save them in a cloud folder or email them to yourself or whatever. Number 3, do report it to the police. As I said, definitely tell them. Ask to speak to a safeguarding or domestic abuse officer. Most forces in the UK now have trained teams to handle this discreetly and seriously. And next, if things get really bad, this is really important. You can apply for a non-molestation order, okay? If your ex, for example, let's say it's an ex-partner, won't stop, you can apply to the family court for a non-molestation order. This can legally prevent them from contacting you, from posting or sharing or anything about you, which carries criminal consequences if they ever breach it. This can often be done without them even knowing you've applied as well. That's why a non-molestation order is a really useful option if you think you're in serious danger. Number 5, this one is a really cool tip, guys. You should get help from Stop NCII company. A lot of the research that I've done have found that people really recommend that you use certain companies like Stop NCII to block reappearances of non-consensual images. They'll actually block those images from appearing online, which has been shown to be successful in the past. Now, though, let's talk about prevention. This is really important, especially if you're concerned about your children's future safety online. So how do you protect yourselves and your loved ones? Well, it doesn't really matter how tech savvy or careful that you think you are. If your kids use social media, you need to understand how sextortion works and how to protect yourself and themselves before it ever happens. So listen closely. Number 1, the telltale sign. Look out for the following things. They are telltale signs. Number 1, they move your conversation very quickly to WhatsApp or Snapchat or one of these other similar platforms and away from dating apps, for example, which are usually very good at blocking such behavior at the outset. Number 2, it seems too good to be true. For example, they're very attractive and they get very flirty very quickly. I mean, guys, how often do you get your dream person just messaging you or sliding into your DMs out of the blue? It's very rare, isn't it? It should raise warning flags at the first instance. Look, if they start to ask you to send intimate messages or images first and ask for ones in return very quickly, or they won't FaceTime you or live video call you, these are some basic initial red flags. Just be aware of them. Just be wary of them. Don't immediately shut down the conversation, but be wary. Now, that leads us on to our second prevention tactic, which is to have an honest conversation with your children. Do not overlook this, please. It's awkward, I know, but if your child has a smartphone, they need to understand that private images, they are very hard to delete afterwards and can leave a permanent digital footprint. So talk about trust and consent and what permanent really means online. Number 3, adjust their privacy settings or your own. Make sure only friends can view your messages or view your profiles on apps like Instagram and TikTok. Disable the ability for unknown people to message request you where possible. And before, guys, don't store all your intimate images in an unencrypted file, especially if these are really private and sensitive images of you. Even if you're not actually sharing anything, phones can be hacked, laptops can be hacked. Use password protected folders or encrypted apps to store more intimate content of yours. You do not want to risk that stuff being leaked. It can change people's lives. Now, if you found this video helpful, please share it. You never know who might be silently struggling and desperately searching for answers. But guys, let me know your thoughts. I really want to hear from you on this topic. If you've experienced sextortion in any way, what were your experiences? What happened? How did you resolve it? Do you have any tips for anyone else watching? Let's help each other as much as we can and get a discussion going in the comments. Guys, finally, remember, this is not qualified legal advice for you to rely on alone. It's purely educational content. I cannot give qualified legal advice directly through YouTube. That said, I'll see you in the next video.